Hello, and welcome to Inside ICSD with Dr. Brown, a show with Superintendent Dr. Luvelle Brown that takes a look inside the Ithaca City School District. I'm Brian Okumu, a senior at Ithaca High School, and our show is produced by my fellow English and digital media classmates at Ithaca High School.
Again, welcome. Today our guests are Ms. Danielle LaRoche, our Wellness and Athletics Director, and Ms. Molly Long, who is also a varsity lacrosse and basketball player. And we're very excited to have them here today to talk about our athletic program and the year-round expectations that are a part of this culture of excellence. So let's start there. Molly, what do you think about your year-round expectations for athletics, and what does that mean for you?
Well, I think keeping up academically is really important throughout the year, because without that, we wouldn't be able to play. As well as when you're off the court or the field, you represent Ithaca in a good way, in a responsible way.
Thank you. Ms. LaRoche.
I'm going to echo what Molly said. It's really important academically that you are staying on top of your work, that you're going to class, that you're being respectful to your teachers, and that you're getting good grades. I mean, I think that's the foundation of why you're here, and that helps propel you to be an athlete. And I think the other piece of it is that we need to understand that we have state-of-the-art facilities here. So student athletes need to take advantage of the Strength and Conditioning Center, being there all year round for injury prevention, to get stronger, to get faster, to get better, work with our strength and conditioning coach, Kelly Gordon. I think those are the things that are the year-round expectations for our athletes.
Okay.
So guys, what are some highlights from your participation?
Well, I think the bonds that I get from being with these girls and the coaches for 4 months, I can take on with me for the rest of my life.
I think the highlight of my position is really watching our student athletes succeed on the field. There's a lot that goes into running a sports program: the busing, the scheduling, the uniforms, the equipment. So when I get the time to just go out on the field and watch the players play and win games and lose games and have this great experience, that's by far the highlight of my position.
Some things you're working on, some things you wish to see in the near future?
I think maybe if we increase the competitiveness, maybe like schedule some games where we play teams out of our leagues, or somehow create a way where the best athletes in our school want to participate. It's hard when there's a bunch of travel teams or club teams that kids go to, because maybe they feel like they get more attention from coaches. But maybe we should make it feel like play for Ithaca and you can excel after high school.
Great answer. Ms. LaRoche, some things that you're working on, some changes you wish to see?
Yeah, one of the things was our new initiative this year with all the athletes was end of the season surveys. We were really interested in finding out the experience of what our athletes felt about their facilities, their equipment, their coaches. So after your season is over, every student gets a personal survey that they have an opportunity to fill out. That was one of the big initiatives that I'm proud of that we were able to achieve this year. Next year, I'd really like to begin our Captain's Council, where once a month all the captains of the teams get together and meet and learn from each other and talk about leadership. And that way you can troubleshoot. If you have an issue on your team, maybe there's something going on in another team that you can get some ideas.
Yeah. How do you feel about the evaluation process, your first year doing that?
I think, I love the surveys, actually. Yeah, I took one for basketball, and it really, because we didn't really have an opportunity to let anyone know about how we feel about the coaching and, the whole atmosphere of the season. But what you were just talking about, I think that's a great idea, because I'm a captain for girls lacrosse, and we don't really have that, so that sounds great.
Right.
Well, also being an athlete, I haven't taken the surveys yet, but I'm really excited to see what they're like.
Great time to be a student athlete here. I saw you guys out on the field this morning at 6 a.m. when it was cold.
Yeah.
I've seen you out there in the middle of the night, so we appreciate your participation. And great leadership also. I know in my role, I'm oftentimes criticized for the events I'm not at, more so than the ones I'm able to go to. And I think that's part of what comes with the job. But when thinking about you, Ms. LaRoche, there are dozens of events every day. And I know you're not at every one of them. How do you manage it all, and do you get some of the feedback I receive when folks recognize when you're not at something more so than when you are?
Yeah, it's difficult. I tried. We have 23 varsity sports, 21 JV sports, 11 modified sports. So when you think about their schedules home and away, and one team can play 20 games, it does lend itself to be difficult for me to be at everything. I do try to get to as many home events as I can and as many postseason play, but as a mother of two, you know, of someone who has a family to take care of, and so I just try to do the best I can and get to everything, but I can't ever get to everything. But I do appreciate my event staff being at all the home events and keeping me in contact and texting me and emailing me all the things that happen. So.
Yeah, I see you at a lot. So for you two, what type of support do you feel from your administrators, your teachers, the school community when you're on the fields and on the courts?
Well, I don't know. Like whenever I'm walking down the street, it's good to like some people come up to me and say, "Oh, I saw you play last night. You did a good job." You know, it makes me feel good knowing that the community actually cares about what I'm doing on the field.
Yeah, like what Brian said. And also, I think Ithaca sports are being more recognized, not only with this show, because I think we're actually starting to live stream them, some games, but also it's fun, like what Brian said, walking down and maybe you're wearing like an Ithaca basketball sweatshirt and they're like, oh, yeah, you know, I read about your game in the newspaper, some other site like that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Anything else you wish to add or wish for us to know?
I just think what you're doing with the program is really good. I saw you at our game last night, which is great, and it feels like it's going in a more positive direction, the whole athletic department.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of wish I could stay for one more year just to see how things are going, but I mean, it's still I just love the way things are going, and where they'll be.
Anything you would add, Mr. Moore?
The only thing that I would add is just, you know, go out and see your teammates play, go out and see other teams support as many programs as you can, go to as many games. I think it's really important when you're playing to see your friends, to see other teams, to see people in the crowd cheering for you. It makes a huge, huge difference. So my message is, you know, get out and go to as many events as you can go to. I think that's what kind of makes us a community. So.
And the last thing I would add, you two are great examples of all that's good about student athletics here in our school and our community. And there are hundreds of others that are part of Ithaca High School athletics that are doing a great job as well. I know we're making a difference when my young children who aren't in school yet, they talk about Queen Elsa from Frozen, and they talk about student athletes here. They're the heroes. They're picking up basketballs and soccer balls, and they're picking up the sticks already. And they mention your name, so I want to thank you for being role models for my young people and my children as well. So thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else you have to add? All right. Well, with that, we will close, and I thank you for tuning in to another episode of Inside ICSD with Dr. Brown. And please send us your suggestions, comments, questions, compliments, and we hope to include those, as we've done today, in future episodes of this show. Thank you.